UFC Perth just recently wrapped up, and I'm going to recap the entire card. The main event, we saw Carlos Ulberg starch Dominick Reyes in really the first sequence of true punch exchanges that took place. Good card overall. A lot of fun fights and some violent KOs. I look forward to talking about each and every matchup. So let's go fight number one and then work our way all the way up to the main event. First things first, the ladies went after it. Elisha Thainara versus Lookboonmee. This was Elisha Thainara's coming out party. I really think she has the goods to be top 15 material. Striking looked good against a very good Muay Thai practitioner in Lookboonmee, and obviously dominance in the grappling. Gets a lopsided 30-27 decision for a second UFC fight to go out and handle a girl that was on a 4-fight winning streak and has a lot of experience at a high level. I mean, yeah, she's not beating the best of the best, but coming into this fight, 7-2. This was her 10th UFC match. I feel like this is one of those wins that it's like, okay, Thainara can mix it up with the better women on the planet right now. I feel like you have to move her into good competition only. 14 ranked woman in the world. That's what Lookboonmee was at in this matchup here. I don't know exactly where you line up a Thainara because, like, you could say, hey, it's time to go for the Angela Hill test and let's find out. But also, it's like, she has a lot of upside in her 20s. Man, the Hebas prospect. Lookboonmee was 14. There's a chance that, like, Angela Hill fight kind of is perfect. And she's an Amanda Hebas training partner and friend. They're not going to fight one another. It really might have to be Angela Hill, Elisha Thainara next. Just typical how it goes. You eventually got to run into Angela Hill if you want to mix it up with the best girls in the world. And Thainara's ground skills definitely give her a fighting chance. For Lookboonmee, sent back to the unranks. He's still good. You still get wins in the UFC. It's just Thainara, blue chip. And truth is, Lookboonmee, she's an atom weight that fights at 115 because there's no women's atom weight division at the highest level of the sport. Good win for Elisha Thainara. Next fight, sick win. Brando Peričić versus Elisha Ellison. First round KO. Peričić looked like a fucking badass. This reminded me of a throwback heavyweight fight. It just reminded me of a UFC fight from years ago when I first, really got into the sport, because you'd have both guys making debuts early on in the card, right? And it was, two relative unknowns facing off against one another. This matchup was supposed to be a Contender Series fight, but it ends up being a UFC fight. And my God, Brando Peričić did not disappoint. Went out there, rocked Elisha Ellison, and then finished him with terrifying ground and pound. Yeah, this was a mismatch. Elisha Ellison should be fighting at 205, not heavyweight. And Peričić, I like the way he talks. I mean, he's speaking about the top heavyweights in the world. He believes he's going to be mixing it up with that level of opposition. In a debut like he had, I can't help but believe, at the very least, Australia's got somebody that's got a chance to break into the top 15. And it's not like, a tie to Ivasa. It's somebody that I think could do something here. I don't know. Maybe I'm overrating him. Maybe I'm overexcited because I was feeling, hype about him making his debut. His boy is also a, hardcore subscriber of the channel, and Paku, you guys know him. I'm excited to see what he can run up. I mean, a fight against Hamdi Abdullah Wahab, Chris Barnett winner. Is it crazy to say that makes sense? A fight against Austin Lane is not crazy either. I'm intrigued, man. Brando Peričić doesn't have a lot of pro experience in MMA, but he's got some kickboxing fights. He's got an aggressive stand-up game, has some heavy ground and pound, and he's got a style to get excited about because it's violence first over everything else. And he's got the highlight reel package now. I think Peričić is a problem, and I look forward to watching a lot more. Physically imposing, knockout power, good kickboxer, good Muay Thai, and good ground and pound. Good mix of technique. I like his game. I'm a fan. Brando Peričić, sick win. Next up, Michelle Montague, Luana Carolina. Relatively speaking, it was dominant in the wrestling department, but Luana Carolina had Montague on skates a couple of times, rocked her bad and dropped her in round number 2. Technically, it didn't count as a knockdown, but like really buckled her, and then stung her up with some punches come round number 3. Michelle Montague's grappling was the ultimate difference maker, but she did get caught with some elbows from bottom position in round 1 that caused a nasty cut near her hairline right at the top. I believe the right side, maybe it was the left side. But either way, she showed real strong takedowns and high level control because as awkward as Luana Carolina is, she's pretty good at consistently stopping takedowns. And she's a sound striker. Now, Montague's stand up game is very stiff, works because she has such good grappling. But, like, if she didn't have that type of takedown ability, the ground skills will be a little bit more of, or excuse me, the striking skills will be a little bit more of a red flag because the ground skills are damn good. Luana Carolina is a weird case because she was, mixing it up with decent flyweights and ranked number 15 in the flyweight division upon the move to the women's bantamweight division, which it's interesting to see her, still hold a spot at 15 at flyweight. Obviously, I don't see her going back down. I'm thinking about the UFC bantamweight division, and I'm like, you kind of got to just throw Montague out there against somebody okay. Is it wild to say that the next fight for Montague isn't somebody like Nova Cornell coming off a loss? Good striker, though. Fun matchup. Clear hole, obviously. Grappler versus striker. Is it crazy if they decided to put her in maybe a bigger fight? Is it wild to say Daria Zelezniakova? Zelezniakova is somehow ranked 15 in the world right now. He's fighting Luana Santos November 8th. Shit. Winner of that fight, honestly. But I don't know, though. Luana Santos trying to break into the top, but she does have that, like, pretty girl thing where they're trying to build her. I just feel like we could see a top 15 fight a lot sooner rather than later from Michelle Montague. But you know what? I'm going to say my initial instinct of Nora Cornell as the second UFC fight is sensible. Girl that's good on the feet. Grappling's not her best area. It'd be nice to see Montague showcase some improvements in the striking game. She's Kayla Harrison's main training partner, so I'm under the assumption that she won't want to fight for the title with Harrison at the top. I don't know if she makes it to the top, though. I don't know. Her ground skills are real good, but that's stand-up, dude. Red flag. You got a girl that can stop some takedowns. You got a girl that, can box a bit. You got a Norma Dumont, Ketlin Vieira type, a Raquel Pennington type, even a Macy Chiasson, even a fucking Jocelyn Edwards. Those are hard matchups for her. I could see her struggling with girls that could stop the takedown onslaught and just keep it standing. Luana Carolina, smaller, right? Even though she's got the height, she got skinny frame, doesn't have that physical strength, nor the grappling skills to really, defend much. She got beat up a lot on the ground and still dropped her on the feet, though, is really where I'm going with it. But solid debut nonetheless for Montague. And she does have a lot of upside. She had a good team, American top team. So, they got somebody to watch. Her ground skills are definitely good. And I look forward to seeing some more out of her. Next fight, Colby Thicknesse and Josias Musasa. Really competitive matchup. Really good back and forth. Round number 1, Musasa was putting it on Thicknesse on the feet early. Thicknesse ends up hitting the body lock trip, gets on top, and beats the shit out of Josias Musasa. Musasa does not have technical grappling skills. He doesn't even have positional awareness. Like, Thicknesse was easily passing to mount, and he beat the shit out of him from top position. The only reason Musasa got up to his feet is just pure athleticism and explosiveness. Got back up at the end, but round ends, he takes the L that round. Round number 2, he's chasing Colby Thicknesse around and stopping all of his takedowns. Thicknesse at points in this fight on the feet, man. Colby Thicknesse was looking like he was on ice skates. Looked very awkward. Looked like he was sliding all over the place. Punches were not too precise. He couldn't get his kicks really going. Now, to be fair, it's because Musasa is a tricky southpaw with relentless pressure. I'll acknowledge it's not an easy style to deal with, but Thicknesse definitely didn't look settled at all striking. Round number 3, he's losing. He ends up hitting Musasa with a deathly kick to the balls. Really strong groin shot. Nearly the full 5 minutes are taken from Musasa. Comes back out. Looks like he's going to get back to his striking flow. Thicknesse ends up hitting the takedown, controls on top position, gets some ground and pound going. Colby Thicknesse ends up edging out the fight with the blessing of kicking Musasa in the balls. I don't know if this would have happened if not for the fucking nut shot. Now, my lock fight got canceled. I said filling in with Thicknesse. The underdog comes through, so I'm happy about it. But I tell it as it is. When you look at the fight, really, it was momentum all Musasa. When you get hit in the nuts and take nearly a full round off to recover, that kills all momentum. And in essence, it almost becomes a new fight. And Thicknesse was able to land that takedown, and Musasa's get up game shit. Grappling on the bottom position, shit. He needs to work a lot. Now, he has said he's training still in Africa. I just don't know what the jiu-jitsu coaching is like because it seems to be blue belt level jiu-jitsu. Like if you told me I was gonna roll with Musasa, I'd be like, all right, like I'll roll with him. I'm not saying he's not gonna tap me out or beat me, but Colby Thicknesse is so much more technical. Like it's true knowledge of BJJ. Musasa is just athleticism and some wrestling. He's got good wrestling defense for sure. He's hard to take down. But when he ends up on his back, man, he's not necessarily a fish out of water, but he's just trying to hold from bottom position and like explode up like he's Derek Lewis. So there needs to be a lot of work on the jiu-jitsu of Josias Musasa. And I just don't know if his team is capable of providing him with high enough level looks to make that happen. Now, for Colby Thicknesse, this is a good win because Musasa is a tough test. He's a heavy hitter. But it wasn't a blow your dick off type of win. Oh, shit. Thicknesse is going to make a run. I don't know with Thicknesse. I feel like, he'll stick around on the roster, and he's young. He's in his 20s. He's Volkanovski's boy. But bantamweight division has so many fighters. The UFC has what? 80 bantamweights right now? Thicknesse gets a win, but even if you match him up with guys just lightly ranked ahead, guys like Ramon Taveras, granted, Ramon moved up. Guys like Angel Pacheco, that's a winnable fight, to be real with you, but he's come off a loss. They're going to do that. Bernardo Sopa is a tough matchup. I guess Toshiomi Kazama kind of makes sense. Carlos Vera, who's, the guy that beat Musasa last time. Gaston Bolaños is a winnable fight. There's some winnable matchups, but dude, it's like when you're in the bantamweight division, the top 60 is good. It's hard to really make your way up. I just don't know about Thicknesse making his way up those ranks. Like if I consider another prospect, imagine him versus Surrey City. I see him getting struck up. Imagine him versus Santiago Luna. I think he'd get caught. Yeah, I don't know, man. Colby Thicknesse, he's holding on by a thread. Now Musasa takes the L. I'm sure they'll give him like a Chris Moutinho. I think that would be the fight. Chris Moutinho, Josias Musasa. Give Moutinho a chance to get a UFC win. He probably gets knocked the fuck out. Musasa's power is real. It's like he's got an obvious hole. It's just bottom game jiu-jitsu. Imagine he had a decent bottom game, and he could fight to, even just like retaining guard and shit like that. He could find himself back on his feet if he could scramble up. He could have won this fight. He was better than Thicknesse on the feet. And his wrestling defense, for the most part, was really good. 2 takedowns is all it took because the control time is everything. 14 takedown attempts, 12 takedown defended by Musasa. The wrestling defense is fine. That's not the issue. He can wrestle. It's just he doesn't have grappling. That's the problem. So he's got to work on actually what happens when he gets on his back. And I'm going to say this. I believe that in the training room, it is probably not commonplace that Musasa is taken down by his training partners because his wrestling defense is good and he's not spending enough time working in compromised spots. Like, I really believe if you're Musasa's team, you're putting him in bottom position in sparring to say, okay, let's put you in full mount bottom, work up to your feet. Hit a reversal. Put him in half guard, work to full guard, work up. Work against the cage. The get-up game was just pure athleticism. And especially in a third round, that shit doesn't work. You need technique. Technique pays the bills at the end of the day at this level. Good win for Thicknesse. Good underdog call. Jamie Mullarkey beats Bedoya. I told you guys I thought Mullarkey's MMA game would be the difference maker. And with some wrestling, he secures a win. He lost the third round. Bedoya did well. He was touching him up. Mullarkey looked gassed round three, but it was too little too late. Mullarkey landed good punches. The first two rounds, caught Bedoya on the feet, took him down, and out grappled him in round one. Jamie Mullarkey, in the first two rounds, he looked like, I don't want to say he was back, but he did kind of look like he was back. And then he looked awful in round number three. Bedoya had a ton of success in that third round, but Mullarkey's chin held up. So, I mean, that's a good thing, right? It's not like Mullarkey's got the chin of glass. He got caught, but he never got dropped in this fight. That's a net positive. I did feel like this was one of those matchups where both guys were on the chopping block. I have to assume we're going to see the UFC let go of Bedoya, but you never know, right? 0-4 in the UFC, but gave a really good third round against Mullarkey. Maybe, they keep him around for a fight against, somebody that's mediocre. Maybe they give him a Mark Choinsky type of fight because that's the level that he should be at. I feel like with Jamie Mullarkey, though, it's Oki next. Oki's probably going to be next. Like something like that really is where I see him going. I mean, Loik Rajabov, if they're still giving Loik Rajabov fights, he hasn't fought in a while. I don't know what else you can really do. Yeah, that's kind of the most sensible option. I mean, they might end up giving him like a Wrong Ju, and he'll get knocked the fuck out by Wrong Ju. I'd watch it. I'd like to see him get knocked out by Wrong Ju. Give him Wrong Ju. Jamie Mullarkey will get knocked out again. Spilt coffee on my mic. But survived the onslaught here and gets it done against Bedoya in competitive fashion. But good second round, good grappling in the first round, good boxing in the second, but a bad third round, pure survival. Cam Rowston knocks out Petroski. Beautiful left hook, drops Petroski, beats the shit out of him from top. Cam Rowston looked great, man. I like Cam Rowston. I had him as an underdog here. I had him as an underdog on Contender Series last month. I think Cam Rowston's a hell of a prospect. He made it look so easy against Petroski that I'm really thinking about that Edmund Shabazian fight. And Shabazian's scheduled to fight Andre Muniz next week. And I'm like, fuck, he couldn't put Petroski away. Does he not have the power to put Muniz away? He ends up on his back. Muniz is choking his ass out. I don't know. The result of this fight got me thinking that Muniz might actually give Shabazian a real run for his money. This is a massive debut for Cam Rowston. This is a massive debut for him. Like coming into the UFC, off rip, going out there and fucking Petroski up. That's not easy to do. Like that's a burst on the scene. Here you are now type of W. Like this is shit. It's hard to make a matchup for him because I don't know. I mean, to me, beating Petroski normally gets you, pretty decent matchups against better guys. Just he's so young, right? This is his first UFC fight. I don't think that you're going to jump him up the ranks right away to like killers of the weight class. Like realistically, because of this victory, up next, he could end up fighting somebody like a Nursultan Riziboyev. Not saying that they're going to do it, but like towards that level is kind of what a win over Andre Petroski should mean for you. Because it's like he's not going to get bottom feeders. I don't think he fights Danny Barlow, the Jordan Santos winner. I mean, maybe he does. Maybe that's the fight. The winner of the Jordan Santos and Danny Barlow would be like a sensible way to build up Cam Rowston. But Petroski has a good UFC record. He's got a shitload of experience. He's an Ultimate Fighter veteran. And he made it look easy knocking him out. Honestly, you could do a Dushko Todorovic fight and just say, fuck it. I think Rowston will beat Dushko's ass. But I'd watch it. Cam Rowston, Zach Reese. Down for it. Cam Rowston, Robert Brizchek. Not a crazy take after Brizchek just knocked Taveras out. He probably deserves something big. I'm very interested in seeing how the UFC builds somebody like Rowston because a victory in this fashion against Petroski does a lot for me. Though Andre Petroski had lost in the UFC before, losses to guys like Michel Pereira, Jacob Malhoun, okay, and Edmund Shabazian. Rowston beat him the second fastest of the bunch. And it was like not like fluke factor win. It was just like dropped him, perfect shot. Like Petroski couldn't do shit. He was stuck on the outside. He looked so awkward. He looked terrified. Yeah, man. Cam Rowston just really blew his career up fast, man. I don't know. He's young. He's 30 though, which is prime. It's not like he's 26. So I kind of feel like you got to consider moving it forward. The Dushko Todorovic fight could be sensible because it's like, all right, let's test him one more time. Let's give him a fight that he definitely can win, but a striker in Todorovic who's got some grappling. Dude, he probably lays Todorovic out bad. Zach Reyes would be a cool fight too. Zach Reyes, tall, fast kickboxing, good jiu-jitsu. I think Rowston probably beats his ass as well. I'm trying to see, where does Rowston fall? Where does Rowston run into trouble? Like a Kelvin Gastelum, right? Like a, Jun Young Park or Roman Kopylov. I hope that he can put some W's together and we get Cam Rowston, Shara Bullet. The one knock on him is he lost to Torres Finney last year on Contender Series, but he looks way better since then. And this W here does big things for him. Absolute savagery for Cam Rowston. I'm blown away. Awesome win. Featured fight on the prelims. Navajo Stirling, Adolfo Bellato. I was underwhelmed, but also I take positives away. I want to first talk positives before negatives. So Navajo got a unanimous decision. He was pretty accurate in round one, worked the body of Bellato really well. Had good moments striking, was fighting well in the clinch and switching position and even backing Bellato up against the cage, which I thought was a net positive because Bellato's very strong. Round number two, he took Bellato down and he beat him up a bit from top position. Now, towards the end of round two, he gassed a little bit and Bellato landed a couple shots and even hit him with the takedown, which I thought was okay, a little testy, but it's fine. He still won the round. He still did damage and he looked good on the ground. Round number three, Bellato kind of gave him trouble, caught him with a couple of shots, was attacking the body a bit. I noticed Navajo has this tick and he like dips his head as he works the body. Like he doesn't have his head down like this. He turns it down like that, kind of not looking at his opponent. Actually reminds me of this style of this kid that used to box in my backyard would have. That's as funny as hell, man. That's a whole nother story. That's a live stream story. I think of it like this with Navajo Stirling. This is my thought process. 27, a lot of time to grow. Do not rush him up the ranks. Though he beat a Bellato, which I rate as a fairly good win, it's not like Bellato has this outstanding UFC resume. So you don't have to move Navajo up to any crazy level of opposition. What did he do after the fight? He made a call out. He called out Ibo Erslan. That right there is genius. Ibo Erslan was supposed to fight Junior Tafa. That is the perfect matchup. A guy like Erslan or a guy like Tafa is what should be next for Navajo Stirling. Let's keep pushing the low-level opposition to Navajo first before we give him that real push up the ranks, because I don't think he's ready for it just yet. Less is definitely more. I want to see slow and steady on the way up. I prefer that a lot. I think when I look at Navajo, he's got the makings of a guy that could be top 15 level with some time, but I just don't think yet. I don't think now is the time to do that. I think slow and steady wins the race. And that's exactly what I anticipate the UFC to do. I think they'll be like, you know what? I like that idea. I think they'll agree with it. They'll say, yeah, let's give him Ibo Erslan. And I think he could beat an Ibo Erslan. And if he does beat an Ibo Erslan, now he's 4-0 in the UFC, has another several months to prepare before he's matched up against some of the better guys. There's not a deep weight class. There's 40 UFC light heavyweights, 41 if you include Yakev. Obviously, some guys win. It's about 40, approximately 40 UFC light heavyweights. He just beat a guy that's, top 27. From here, I think you keep him around that same point. And I think in Navajo, Stirling, Ibo Erslan is the proper fight. Now, for the likes of Adolfo Bellato, he's in a weird spot. I feel like you give him maybe Prochnio, who lost to Jimmy Crute, or honestly, you just fuck that. Just go all Brazil. Brennison Ibero, Adolfo Bellato. Let's find out who's got the good. I want to watch that one. Ribero's got power, but susceptible to big shots. Chin is a little sus. Grappling's a little sus. I like Bellato versus Brennison Ibero, actually. That's kind of a perfect story. That's the right matchup for him. We'll see if the UFC decides to do it, but I like Bellato versus Brennison. My matchmaking is A tier, guys. Navajo, Sterling, Ebo. I say yes. Let's book that. Either that or Junior Tafa. And we'll go Adolfo Bellato versus Brennison. I like that. Matchmaker extraordinaire, man. Let's jump to the main card. Starting the main card off, Tom Nolan, Charlie Campbell. My God, this was great. This fight was amazing. Now, early in the fight, per usual, Tom Nolan gets dropped. They didn't count it as an official knockdown. He got dropped. I don't know what the fuck the knockdown counters are half the time. But he got back up to his feet quick. You know, Charlie Campbell didn't want to follow him to the ground. He's like, no, let's get up. Ends up getting caught again and kind of falls down, but it wasn't a knockdown. Boom, back to striking. Nolan starts landing some shots. Nice stiff jab from Nolan. Catches Charlie Campbell with a hook to the ear and starts getting his striking going. Charlie Campbell is picking it up. Charlie Campbell's having some moments. Tom Nolan's got some moments on Campbell. Hits him with a spinning back kick to the body. Beautiful shot. Campbell was badly hurt from that. And Tom Nolan's kicking game's legit. He ends up getting the choke. Ends up dragging Campbell down, taking the back and strangling him. Tom Nolan put it on Campbell. First round finish after getting hurt himself. I got to say, that's just a Tom Nolan story. He gets hurt a lot, but he finds ways to come back and work through it. Tom Nolan's good, man. His skill set is really starting to thrive. And a finish of Charlie Campbell, especially as quick as it was, 1 round, and he did it by sub, sick. I was impressed, man. I was blown away. I really feel like Tom Nolan's one of those guys that's doing it. Every time I see him, I think, oh, he's getting better. Yeah, obviously getting dropped is not good. And I worry about what happens when he fights, another heavy-handed savage. But at the end of the day, goes out and wins again. Where does he go from here? Who does he fight? Well, he's supposed to fight Evan Elder. I don't hate the idea of that fight being rebooked, especially since Evan Elder was in the corner of Campbell. But the way that Nolan won, it is kind of one of those performances where I feel as though they consider moving him up a bit. It's just when I start looking up the ranks, I'm not crazy about it. The fucking same thing. This damn lightweight division is jam-packed with talent. Tom Nolan versus Rongju. Tom Nolan versus Myron Santos. It's like I'm looking up the ranks a little further. What are we going to do? Tom Nolan versus Jim Miller? Tom Nolan, Kawe Fernandez? Oh, Terrence McKinney, Mason Jones. Obviously, eventually, Nolan's got to fight someone like that, but I just think he stays out of the top 50 still. Tom Nolan, give him an easy matchup. Give him Kurt Hollabaugh, very winnable fight. I don't know. That just leads me back to the Evan Elder fight getting rebooked. I don't think that's a bad idea. We'll see what the UFC decides. My God, so many guys at lightweight on the damn roster. So they got more than, plenty of options. They got a shitload of options here. I just think Tom Nolan's good, but where do we move him to? It's always a hard tell for me. I mean, do they do Jamie Mullarkey, Tom Nolan, and say, fuck it? Let's go Australia warfare against one another? I could see Tom Nolan catching him and putting him out. I don't know. Time will tell, but either way, I'm excited to watch all of Tom Nolan's fights because every time I do, I'm thoroughly entertained. He got a performance of the night bonus, as he should have. It was a really entertaining matchup. And for him to, pull through against a dangerous puncher like Charlie Campbell after getting hurt shows the evolution. Nolan looked nice. Next fight, the upset of the card, man. Neil Magny, somehow, some way, survives controversy and comes back to win by typical Neil Magny 3rd round finish. Wow. First round, Neil Magny looked good. His boxing was on point. He was touching Jake Mathews up. Mathews was losing the fight. He ends up getting against the cage with Mathews. Mathews ends up locking up a neck. Mathews ends up locking in a ghillie. Mathews ends up switching to full mount with the ghillie with just seconds left in the round. Neil Magny's arm seems to go limp. Referee jumps in, calls the fight, touches both of them before the bell, probably about 4:58 of the round. Referee touches both. It's over. It's over. Let him go. He lets him go. Magny's like, no, I'm good. Buzzer goes off. Referee then says, oh, no, I didn't stop the fight. Let's keep it going. Technically, the referee stopped the fight in the first round, regardless of it being an incorrect stoppage and Magny not being out, right? He didn't seem to be unconscious, though his arm looked to go limp. You could argue he's just putting it there to try and, find some space. It was like immediately he was awake. So I'll say that he was okay, even though it looked like he went limp for a second. Referee stopped it. Yes, it was the wrong stoppage, but the referee stopped it, said the fight is over. Jake Mathews celebrates. Magny's upset, but then changes his mind and says, no, we keep going. Only because the bell was just seconds away was he able to get away with that. But I think that threw the momentum of the fight. Like, there's an element to that throws off somebody like a Jake Mathews. You have the adrenaline dump. I just won the fight. And then now, no, you have to keep fighting. That's fucked. That was a referee error. He touched both of them. Doesn't that warrant, okay, the fight stopped. It's over now. But regardless, it was an early stop, and it shouldn't have been stopped. And it went, and Jake Mathews won the second round. Dominated the second round. Jake Mathews losing the third round, getting caught up on the feet, and then he gets Darce choked. Magny does it. Somehow, some way. Always finds a fucking way. Magny does it. Gets the W. From a bad stoppage by the referee to getting his hand raised, Magny pulls through. Yes, there's controversy around it, but, it shouldn't have been stopped, so I guess that's good. It's just a weird thing where the referee steps between them, touches them, and stops the fight, but then allows it to keep going because, for his own benefit, really, the clock had just rung so he can get away with it. It's such a weird situation to be in, man. And Magny is in a weird spot. Obviously, he's still somehow holding on to being a top 30 guy, I'll say. I don't know. He was looking so bad against Zaleski, but he looks so good in this fight. Even in the first round, his hands look sharp. It's so hard to matchmake for Magny. It doesn't make any sense. I have no idea. I mean, do you give him just another prospect that's on the rise right now? Do we do, an aging fighter against Magny? Jake Mathews was on a nice 3-fight win streak and really seemed to have finally hit his stride, and then it all falls apart. Magny finds a way to come back and win. My God, man. Magny is the definition of never say die, though. I have to respect it. Jake Mathews, he seemed at 31 to finally be doing it. Nope. Magny said, not yet, son. Probably not ever. And he gets his 24th UFC win. I was blown away by Magny, though. I think this is the best Magny had looked in years. He really looked on point during this fight. His striking looked good. His boxing looked crisp. I guess recently now he's a single father. I swear, single father Magny is onto something, man. It's really coming together. I have no idea, man. I don't care where the matchup is. I don't know what's next. It's just throwing fucking, darts at the board with your eyes closed and hoping for the best. Because I don't know how to matchmake for him. I don't know what the UFC's thoughts are. Do you give him somebody on a roll right now in the weight class that's upcoming? Do you give him a Sam Patterson? Do you match him up with, Renat Fakhretdinov, maybe? Maybe Renat Fakhretdinov is the perfect fight. That could be sensible. Nonetheless, Magny is must-see TV. Always finds a way. My God. I respect it. I respect it a lot. Good win for Magny. Boxing was good, and he beats Jake Mathews. Nothing else left to say. Jack Jenkins tunes up Ramon Taveras. Taveras missed weight, too. Not a great look. I don't know, man. He'll be thankful to keep a roster spot after this one. I think they'll keep him around. I mean, he had a couple moments on the feet, but Jack Jenkins hurt him bad with a head kick in round 2, was attacking with the high kicks a lot throughout the fight. Won the striking exchanges, boxed him up. He landed a couple of good hooks on Jack Jenkins, but nothing of serious note. Jenkins finished the fight, getting on top, throwing some ground and pound. He shut him down in all areas. I thought it was a 30-27 across the board without a doubt. I was surprised there was even a 29-28 there. I thought it was clearly Jack Jenkins the entire time. But, I mean, Taveras put up a gutsy effort for himself. especially stepping into this fight up in weight. He didn't look outsized. He actually looked to be the slightly bigger guy than Jack Jenkins. So I guess the featherweight division makes sense. But oh, wait, he missed weight. He was a bantamweight moving up, but misses weight at this division. Pulled a Kelvin Gastelum on us all. We could end up seeing him getting cut for something like this. I mean, he just got signed, though. Like, they just brought him in from a contender series. Just happened. And then now they're already going to let him go? I don't know. I have weird feelings about this one because he definitely proved to me, like Jack Jenkins, I just don't see him making a run. He's a guy that he's good enough to get wins, but a Ramon Taveras fight, I mean, this is against somebody that's not even a featherweight. Like, obviously, he weighed 147, but he was a bantamweight. And he went out and dominated, you know, nothing but respect for the domination, but I don't know. I don't even know what to think of a Jack Jenkins, excuse me. It's hard. I mean, are we building somebody off of him? Is he fighting a Muhammad Naimov? Maybe a Muhammad Naimov fight is next. It's an interesting spot to be in for a guy that represents a nation. So obviously the UFC gives him a little push because he's Australian. That's why he gets a matchup like Ramon Taveras. But actually, how good is he? Like, he's not going to beat the better guys. He's just not. I'm thinking you matched him up versus Hyder or Mill. How would that go? I know Hyder's got killed by Delgado, but that's a hard fight for Jack Jenkins. I like the Hyder or Mill fight, though. We'll see what happens, man. Ramon Taveras, I guess featherweight's his division now. Are we going to keep him around? Let's just fucking bring him to the Middle East and just give him Muhammad Yahya. Let's give Yahya a chance for a win. I think that's the only thing to do. That's the last thing left. Like, that's what we do with a Ramon Taveras. That's the fight for him. If he's staying at 45, that's the only way they can do it. Yeah, just a fight. It's not a weird fight. It's just, you know, it's just a weird matchup. Yeah, Jack Jenkins went out and won. Clean win. Didn't blow me away, but, you know, good performance. Jimmy Crute did blow me away, though. In the co-main event, Jimmy Crute beat Ivan Erslan by sub with a modified rear naked choke, more or less like a damn neck crank. Got Ivan Erslan to the ground. Erslan worked his way up nicely, looked really strong. Crute stayed after it. Backside position, into the trip, to the back control standing, back to the body lock, dragging him down, forcing him to a compromised spot, taking that back, and then finally locking up the submission. Jimmy Crute's grappling is good, man. He made it look easy against Ivan Erslan. And Erslan's not an easy guy to hold down. I mean, even against Crute Laba, you got to respect it. Even against, Navajo, he gave decent fights to them. Crute ran through him easily. Crute is starting to get some hype back on him. After his retirement, he's put it together with 2 impressive wins back-to-back. Both of them finishes now. Both of them first-round submissions. He is a jiu-jitsu ace. He always has been. Got some power in his hands, too. The striking, he got touched up a little bit, but nothing too crazy, really, in the stand-up. And they got to the ground, and Ivan Erslan had nothing for him there. It's an interesting spot. Jimmy Crute is putting it together, man. He's close to top 15 again. He really is close to top 15 again. I'm thinking to myself, why is it that Dustin Jacoby jumps off the fucking page as the fight to make? Striker versus grappler. That's a winnable fight for Jimmy Crute. Jimmy Crute could find himself getting another chance in that top 15. Obviously, the draw against Bellato started off a little rocky. He was a little bit of a stain, for sure. And maybe he doesn't get a Dustin Jacoby, but I feel like his UFC tenure gives him a fight like that. Because it's not like they're going to send him down the ranks and give him, what are they going to give him, a Toko's fight next? I doubt it. Is he going to fight Julius Walker, a prospect? I doubt it. Jimmy Crute's a longtime veteran, and he's been ranked before. I can see Dustin Jacoby as the next matchup, even though he beats an 0-2 Ivan Erslan and a completely falling off the face of the earth Marcin Prokhnio with then a draw with Bellato, who lost tonight. He was dominating the fight in round 1 and, ended up gassing out, going all out. He's found his fucking momentum. Ivan Erslan's getting cut from the UFC, though. I got to say, Ivan Erslan is out of there. Ivan Erslan, he ain't it, man. But Jimmy Crute is really good on the ground. One of the better grapplers. If he gets on top of you, if he takes your back, you're fucked, man. Jimmy Crute's always been nasty. I mean, even Umar Sy versus him is a cool fight with Sy, as a blue chip prospect. Mingyang Zhang, power hitter. Him and Jimmy Crute's a good fight. It's definitely close to top 15 caliber for Jimmy Crute next time after absolutely buzzsawing through an Ivan Erslan in this one. So nice W for Jimmy Crute. He made it look easy. In the main event, easy again. Make sure you guys hit the likes. If you're new, subscribe. Carlos Ulberg, when the first real exchange happens, puts Dominick Reyes to sleep. It reminded me of the Ryan Spann fight, actually. Reyes just, you catch him clean, he's going down. He looked really gun shy. First 4 minutes of the round was very much distance striking and range finding. Ulberg did not commit to many punches. He didn't land any headshots. Tacked the legs a little bit. I mean, he threw 11 strikes in total. Ulberg only threw 17. Ulberg started finding the straight right to the body a couple of times, and like you could see that he was getting his range going. And then towards the end of the round, Ulberg was pressing, and like Reyes tried to mix it up with shots. He gets caught with a stiff jab into the straight right, down, and it's over. Dominick Reyes is knocked out again. Easy as that. There's not really much else to say. It was done. He was gun shy from distance. He was fighting a little bit scared. He was hesitant and was never able to commit, was never able to close the gap, was never able to let big shots fly. I was so excited for Reyes' big chance to turn it all around and at the very least put up a dogfight. But the first time he gets hit clean, as good as Ulberg's timing is, the first time Reyes gets hit clean, he's out and the fight is over. So it's a very Dominick Reyes story. This is just unfortunately how it goes for him. Knocked out in the first round yet again. The title dreams are dead. Carlos Ulberg said he's going to fly to Las Vegas and he wants to be the backup. I mean, as easy as this fight went, if he can make 205 again, put him as the backup for the title fight. But I do have to say, after an impressive first round finish like this, it's hard for me not to push Carlos Ulberg as the top contender. Yes, Yuri Prochazka and Khalil Rountree are on next week's card, which the main event is the title fight between Ankalaev and Pereira rematch. I would rather see a new face fight for the belt as opposed to Rountree and Prochazka, who have fought for the belts before on the side of Prochazka multiple times. I like the idea of new blood getting a chance for gold. I don't want to see a rematch if it's, Pereira versus Prochazka 3? Pereira versus Khalil 2. If Pereira pulls off a win, I want Ulberg. If Ankalaev wins, I want Ulberg. I like Carlos Ulberg fighting for the world title, and he's definitely next. He has cemented himself, as easy made this look, he cemented himself as the top contender. And I think that him versus whoever next week's main event winner is, matchup to be made. And I look forward to seeing what goes down between those two. Ulberg striking from distance is really crisp. Ulberg's accuracy is unreal. His power is legit. Dominick Reyes definitely don't have a good chin, but still clean, precise shot. And if he hits you clean, he can put you out. Distance management, some of the best. Kickboxing background, you can see it. Comfortability in the cage, immense. On the side of Dominick Reyes, I mean, there's not much good to take away here, but if he's going to stick around, I think let's just do him versus Jamal Hill. That's the fight to make. Him versus Jamal Hill. That's what I want to see. I have to see that one. Him and Jamal Hill. Battle of former champ and then battle of, former title challenger. Shit, bro. Jamal Hill probably clips him and puts him out. I don't think Reyes can take a shot. Like, if I think about the light heavyweight division and I look, I'm asking myself a serious question. I'm like, okay, how does he do against any power hitter? Like, I feel like, yeah, he could catch Jamal and knock him out, but more likely he gets knocked out. Johnny Walker versus Dom Reyes could be cool, but I could see, Johnny catching him. But to be fair, he's got a chance against Johnny if he can land first. If he can land first, he can win the fight. Him versus Johnny Walker, if they're trying to bless him, honestly, or Jamal Hill, it's still a blessing if he gets those type of matchups, man. Those are the sensible ones, but not a prospect like Gushkov, I don't think. Or like a Rakic Mirzakhanov or Mirzakhanov winner. I feel like that's a red flag. I think he can get put out there. I like Dom Reyes against Walker or Jamal Hill next. I kind of love the idea of him and Jamal Hill fighting. I think that makes sense. I guess you're also giving Hill a chance to get back on good terms with the UFC. I do think the title dreams are dead. He could retire after this, and I wouldn't knock him because I don't see a climb after getting chinned by Ulberg. Maybe Dom Reyes turns it all around again, and Ulberg's just really that good. Maybe Ulberg goes out and knocks out, whoever the champion's going to be after next weekend, and I'll be walking all this back in several months. But as of right now, I feel like it's truly over for Dominick Reyes. The resurgence, Didn't last too long. 3 wins, though. 3 nice KOs. But Carlos Ulberg was too much. Made it look easy. So, easy win. Impressive win. Congrats to Carlos Ulberg. Now, as far as my predictions on the card, lost the main event, unfortunately. My overall record, though, was great. 10-2. One with Jimmy Crute. One with Jack Jenkins. Lost. Obviously, I had Mathews against Magny. But, could be a no contest. We 10-1 and 1 no contest. And if they would have stopped it, we would have been 11-1 on the damn card. One with Tom Nolan. One with Navajo Stirling. One with Cam Rowston. One with Jamie Mullarkey. One with the fill-in lock on Colby Thicknesse. One with Michelle Montague. One with Brando Peričić, the Savage. One with Alexia Thainara. So things looked good overall. 10-2 record, I'm grateful for. And I feel pretty happy about calling some shit on the money with the good underdog calls. Listen, at the end of the day, the Jake Mathews loss was disappointing. But, business was still handled. The big Rowston, plus 430 underdog parlay came through. If you played the Rowston and Thicknesse parlay, you ended up hitting, so you're celebrating that. There was definitely on the money line calls that were pretty nice. Brando Peričić, confident pick. Thainara, confident pick. Thicknesse, underdog pick. Rowston, underdog pick. Stirling, confident call. Nolan, confident call. Jenkins, confident call. And then, losses with Mathews, who I did feel confident in. I'm not walking that back. And Dom Reyes loss in the main event with the underdog. Ulberg handled business, man. It is what it is. Overall, I'm happy, but I am disappointed to see Reyes go out so bad. But I have to be proud of Ulberg living up to the hype and putting him away easy. And we got new blood in the mix for the throne, which is always a good thing because Ulberg right now is that thing. Absolutely on fire contender. New face to mix it up against the elites. It's better for the fucking UFC. I hope you guys enjoyed the recap. Hit the like button if you're new, subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you thought. As far as performance of the night bonuses, they went to the likes of, obviously, Carlos Ulberg, Jimmy Crute, Tom Nolan, and Brando Peričić, all performance of the night bonus winners. There was no fight of the night on the card. To be honest, fight of the night was Tom Nolan and Charlie Campbell. But it was a first-round finish. I don't know if you're giving $50K to both guys after a first round. But maybe throw Campbell, 10 grand for taking on short notice and putting up a dogfight. Overall, good card. I was thoroughly entertained, and I'm happy the UFC is back. We're back on business. 8 more weeks. It's 9 weeks straight. 8 more weeks of savagery. Keep it locked in with me on the channel. Turn the post notifications on. You don't want to miss a thing. W in the comments if you got nothing to say. I appreciate you all tuning in. I see you all in the next one. All right, we got full card predictions coming very soon for Ankalaev Pereira 2 later on today. It's Sunday already. It's 1:48 a.m. So I'll see you guys in several hours. Love you all. Peace out. Good night.